Hello dear students, today we are going to see the unit number 2 point LVDT and RVDT, and from today we are going to take the session for the revision purpose only, because already all the units of the MEM we have covered. If still you have any doubts related to the unit 5 and 6 which we have completed recently, then do the message on WhatsApp. Now come to this point. This is the revision point. Already the notes of these points is in your notebook. You can take the reference of it. Now when we hear the word LVDT and RVDT, then first of all the long form of this word comes in our mind. So LVDT means L means linear, V means variable, D means differential, and T means transformer. Linear variable differential transformer. And RVDT means, so instead of the linear, R means rotary variable differential transformer. You can use the transducer word instead of the transformer also. Means we can say the linear variable differential transducer. That will also be okay, because these devices LVDT, the word linear, is used to measure the linear displacement, pressure, force, and the RVDT is used to measure the angular displacement of a body. Now whenever the time comes to measure the linear or the angular displacement, that time you should remember the name of these devices, LVDT and RVDT. Now step by step we will see the construction and working of these two devices. Then at the end I will clear the difference in between. So comes to the first point, LVDT. So this is the linear variable differential transformer, means LVDT. Now in the diagram you can see the number of parts has given, so no need to read anything for the construction purpose. Already I told you the steps. Just look carefully into the diagram and you will find exactly the construction base. In the construction we can see there is a primary winding, there is a secondary winding, but primary winding is the only one and secondary windings are two. So I will give the names to this. Primary winding means P, primary means P, and that primary winding is only one, that's why the P1. For the secondary winding I will give the name again. For the first winding I will give secondary means S, and for the first S1. For the secondary second winding I will give the name S2. Okay, this way I have the one primary winding P1 and two secondary winding S1 and S2. Again the one core part or the metal strip is there. This is the core metal rod, and the secondary winding is connected to the output circuit and the primary winding is connected to the input circuit where we are going to supply the current. But how in real life it looks? So basically these all windings are wounded on one cylindrical portion. For your understanding I will draw the one cylindrical portion here. So this is the cylinder. Consider on the cylinder the one, I will consider this as a secondary winding, again the second, this one as a secondary winding. So this will be the S1 and this will be the S2. So here will be the output related circuit, and primary winding will be present in between these two secondary windings. So this is the primary winding portion, that is the P1, and here will be the input current. This is the way actually the winding has done on the cylindrical portion. I hope you understood. So I will say the two secondary windings and one primary winding is wounded on the one cylindrical portion, and inside the cylindrical portion there is the core iron plate has placed. Okay, and that core metal may do the linear displacement, means the straight line motion. Okay, so this is all about the construction part of LVDT. I hope you understood. Now the second thing is how it may work. Already we have seen in number of things, when the current flow through the any wire, that time in that wire the magnetic field will develop. Just for your understanding, again consider the one metal part or the wire. Through that wire, if the current is flowing, that time that wire will generate the one field, and that field is nothing but the magnetic field. Okay, that field is nothing but the magnetic field. So this is the magnetic field. Now when by using the another component, or just because of the certain things, if this magnetic field get disturbed, then just because of that the current will induced, or the EMF will induced into the disturbing component too, because this component is coming in contact with the magnetic field, and due to the disturbances the EMF and current will generate. Okay, according to Faraday's law. Now the same thing is going to happen here. So under the working, when the AC current or the AC supply has supplied to the primary winding P1, then due to the alternating current the magnetic field will generate into the P1 coil, Okay, but this is the cylindrical portion. We can see this is the cylindrical portion. So this is the cylindrical portion. Okay, on the cylindrical portion these windings, these wires are wounded, and inside the cylinder the core portion is doing the up and down direction motion, linear motion. So when the alternating current pass through the primary coil P1, then the magnetic field will develop, and when the displacement happened into the core part, when this part is connected to the certain element, if that element do the some displacement, up and down displacement, then that time the core part also will move up or down, depend on the element component. So with that what will happen, when the core part move up or down, so due to the motion or the displacement of this core part, magnetic field present into the primary coil will be disturbed, and when the magnetic field will disturb, then the current will develop into the core part. So again I said, when the current is present into the wire or the winding or the metal piece, then due to that current the magnetic field will develop, and just because of that this component also will show the magnetic field. And when the primary winding is coming in contact with the magnetic field of the core, then the current will develop into the secondary winding and current flow through the circuit, and that current is measured by the output circuit arrangement. Now here is the S1 and S2, two secondary windings are there. So when the coil, for the case 1 we will consider, for the case 1, under the case 1 we will consider the core is moving up. Now at the initial stage the core is at the middle position. Okay, So when the core move up, that time the maximum portion of the core portion or metal portion will comes in contact with the S1 coil than S2. Just because of that, we can say the EMF generated into the S1 coil is maximum than the EMF generated in S2 coil. Now in reverse, for the case second, consider the case second. Under the case second, we will consider the core part or the metal piece is moving downward. For case second, the metal part is moving downward. So when this metal part is moving downward, then this metal part will comes in contact, maximum contact will do with the S2 coil. Okay, when the core portion makes the maximum contact with the S2 coil, then in the S2 the EMF will generate maximum than the S1 coil. So this way the generations of the EMF or the current will happen into the secondary winding, and the output of that secondary winding will be measured by this circuit. So this is the real function or the working of this LVDT, linear variable differential transformer. Just the one thing you always remember, that due to the current the magnetic field will generate, and when we will disturb the magnetic field, the current will induced into the disturbing component. This is the simple working of LVDT. Now the time comes for the RVDT also. What actually the working will be in RVDT? So as I said, LVDT means linear variable differential transformer. So here due to the core, the displacement occurring is the linear, means up and down straight line motion is getting, that's why it is the linear motion. But under the RVDT, the name itself clear the meaning that the rotary. So instead of the straight line motion or the linear motion, we will get the rotary motion or the angular displacement. So instead of linear displacement, there we will measure the angular displacement of any component. Let's come to the RVDT. So this is the RVDT arrangement. Again you can see the arrangement is basically the same. Here also we can see the primary coil P1, secondary coil S1 and S2 are present. But a little change is, instead of the core metal strip, we are going to use the cam. I will say cam for our better understanding. So cam is present. So what will happen? The cam will not move up and down direction. The cam will do only the rotary motion or the angular displacement. And now the function is same again. Here the working as like the LVDT. Don't make the confusion. All the theory related to the LVDT you can write for the RVDT. Just one thing you must change there is, instead of the linear displacement you have to mention the angular displacement. Again I will revise here what can happen. When the AC current has provided to the primary winding, then due to the current flow through the circuit, the EMF the magnetic field will generate here. Again when the current flow, the magnetic field will develop, and electric magnetic field when developed into the primary winding. So when the cam portion or the core portion rotates or do the angular motion, that time due to the rotations of this cam, the magnetic field will disturb. When the magnetic field get disturbed, just because of that the current will be shifted to the disturbing component, and that portion again will generate the magnetic field, and due to the contact with the S1 and S2, the current will flow through the S1 and S2 coils, and through that we can identify the actual angular displacement of the cam component. Now again here the situation is same. When the maximum cam portion comes in contact with the S1 coil, then the EMF generated into the S1 coil will be maximum than the S2 coil, and when the cam portion comes maximum in contact with the S2 coil, then the EMF generated in S2 coil will be maximum than S1 coil. This is the real working of the RVDT. Now you can be cleared with the concept that the LVDT and RVDT are both same. Just the little change is, instead of the core linear displacement, here we are considering the angular displacement of the cam. Okay, this is all about the RVDT. By using this, we can measure the angular displacement of any motor shaft uh, which is connected to the motor can do the angular displacement, and if you want to find out the RPM of that shaft, then that time also the RVDT is useful. Now this is all about the RVDT and LVDT. Both the devices are sensible, and the accuracy is more there, and many more applications are there. It is useful for the pressure, force, and linear and angular displacement. I will share the PPT of this. Through that you will get all the concept again clear, related to theory. So this is the revision part. I hope that there will not be any kind of confusion related to it. If you still have any doubts, you must do the message. If you understand the concept, write there, sir, understood. Not, then mention not understand. Okay, this is your responsibility that you have to do and utilize the time. Thank you very much.